think back at the last time you had a massive time pressure for an assignment because of a looming deadline. Pretty sure that if you did succeed, you saw yourself being far more focused, delivering more, and being really truly in the zone when working on it. What you did then was monotasking. Good news is you don't need a massive time pressure to perform that well. Today I want us to explore how you can do that every time you actually want to by unlocking the power of monotasking for your studies. Hey there, I'm Gustavo from Spot on Uni and welcome to this video on how to monotask. This exact video is what I promised to you when we were looking at the consequences of multitasking. If you haven't seen the multitasking video just yet, go into the description of this video so that you can find it and catch up with what we're discussing. In the previous video, we discussed the fact that the brain isn't actually good at multitasking and that instead what it does is task switching. We also noticed that when we are multitasking, we don't even have the right part of the brain that's involved in the process of learning information, but rather the striatum who focuses on learning skills. And because multitasking is so ingrained into our habits, we're going to discuss today steps towards getting us to monotasking as much as possible so that you can unlock your true study potential. This video is broken down into three main topics, namely planning, focus, and building the practice up. Let's explore first the planning of monotasking. You probably already heard that sentence. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Unfortunately, as boring as planning can be, monotasking is no exception to this rule, and you need a clear plan of action if you want to succeed. The first step is for you to define your ideal environment. By ideal environment, we mean that location where you can be truly productive. There are two types of environments where people tend to excel at when it comes to concentrating based on their preferences. Depending on who you are, you either need complete silence to achieve great level of focus, so at home or library, or on the other side of the spectrum, you need a lively place such as a coffee shop to keep you motivated and focused. There isn't a right or wrong choice between those two options. For example, when I am not passionate about what I'm studying, I need to be in a lively place, such as a coffee shop, to keep myself focused. If I do not have that background noise, when I am looking into a topic I'm not interested in, my chances of having my mind wandering or being downright bored increase massively. On the other hand, if I'm passionate about what I'm working on, silence is bliss. The second element to planning is timing, and the key to that is understanding what is your peak performance time. We all have moments throughout the day where we are most productive. For example, I tend to be an early bird, and I'm quite comfortable getting up early and getting the work done in the morning, whilst reducing productivity as the afternoon kicks in. I know plenty of people who have a spike in productivity when the evening starts. Those are night owls, and they work really good at that time. This isn't about defining whether being an early bird or a night owl is the right thing or not. Instead, what you should do is identify which group you fall into and allocate that time of the day for your study and for when you actually need to be productive and deliver results. Once you have identified your peak performance time, just start scheduling what you want to do. And the last element of successful planning is the prioritization and allocation of tasks. No two tasks are created equal, so make sure that you prioritize those that have the biggest impact for you. And make sure to always break down major tasks into manageable chunks so that you have smaller milestones for you to hit at. These milestones will seem far more achievable and you'll be able to schedule with much greater ease if you're breaking down into chunks than if you keep a topic as a whole. When you're planning a series of tasks to do in a given day, always prioritize staying within the same project rather than the same task. In other words, if you have to do desk research for 3 topics, instead of doing the 3 desk research one after the other, what you should do instead is focus on the one topic and the 3 tasks in that topic. This is simply because if you were to do desk research for English literature and then follow into history, when you are doing your desk research for history, chances are you will still be thinking of literature. So if your brain wants to stay onto literature, why don't you do that and do the following step of the process? Once your planning is done, it's all about ensuring that you can achieve and maintain high levels of focus. In order to do that, you need to acknowledge the fact that multitasking doesn't exist. If you are not truly convinced that multitasking doesn't work, or you're not striving towards getting rid of it, you will make your effort that much harder. Next step is to take your distraction machine, or also known as smartphone or laptop, and ensure that you remove all the notifications on them, or even better, put them on flight safe mode and store them into your bag. The problem with your phone is that every single notification that you get, be it sound, vibration, or flashes, is going to be a distraction, and a distraction will take you away from your focus. In itself, it would be maintaining multitasking. So take your phone and just get rid of it. That being said, we can only focus for so long, and research seems to indicate that it's around the mark of 20 minutes that for most of us, productivity drops. Not only does your productivity drop, you also have something called attention blindness that kicks in. Attention blindness simply means that you're so focused on what you're doing that you end up ignoring external factors. And attention blindness can actually be dangerous. When trainee airline pilots are actually in the simulators trying to learn how to land a plane, they tend to focus on all the elements they need to pay attention to. And due to the excessive focus they're in, they don't even notice obstacles that may be on their routes. You could also see attention blindness as an excuse to take a break every 20 or so minutes so that you can then just relax and give yourself some downtime. As a matter of fact, downtime is very beneficial for you and the results you're trying to achieve. It has been shown to increase your problem-solving skills, your creativity, and innovation. Now that you know how to build a plan and know how to increase focus and avoid distractions, let's look into how you can implement monotasking into your life. Sadly, you cannot become a monotasker in just one day. Instead, what you need to do is build up towards it and increase more and more the share of the time that you spend monotasking instead of multitasking. Just ease yourself into it and spend one day a week trying to monotask. And if a full day is too long, just try 2 to 4 hours of absolute focus. And as time goes by and it becomes easier for you to focus for longer periods of time, just increase slowly the amount of time that you monotask. There is a chance that the first time you try to focus on just one thing for 20 minutes, you might end up being distracted. And it's perfectly normal. When this happens, all you need to do is just acknowledge the fact that you have been distracted. Recognize that you have been distracted, take a deep breath, and return to the object of your focus. As you will not be able to reach 20-25 minutes straight on, start lower. Start with 10 minutes of focus. Then increase to 12, 15, 17, and so on until you reach that time that's ideal for you. One approach I would recommend you to go for is to use the Pomodoro technique. The Pomodoro technique is about having a short, intense burst of focus for 15, 20, 25, 40 minutes, and then having a break just after that. And once the break finishes, you go back through the cycle again. It has been shown time and time again to help people become more productive and concentrate and focus with far greater ease because they know the break is coming up soon. I know, monotasking is easier said than done. And to be fair, there are plenty of times where I surprise myself multitasking when I should actually just focus on one thing. This is one of the reasons I always put my phone on airplane mode when I really need to focus. Monotasking might well be the key to unlocking greater results for you. It might sound simple, but it's definitely not easy to implement. But I do promise you, if you do it right and you know how to harness it for your own good, it is worth it. Hey there! Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to find out about one technique that will give you an unfair advantage on top of everyone else, give you better grades by studying less, you can just follow this URL and I'll teach you exactly how to do it. I'll see you there. Take care.